They say diamonds are a girl's best friend. These precious stones are hard to come by, and they are also in high demand. Now, new demand is also coming from developing countries. Joining me this afternoon is CEO of PureFunds, Paul Zimnisky. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, Mother's Day is gone. We just had that yesterday, and we always know that diamonds are in favor around the holidays. But given that there's so much high demand, if you could tell me about some of the demand dynamics for the industry.
Okay, sure. So we think there's an interesting investment case for diamonds in the industry. It's traditionally been a difficult space to get access to, so we created a fund that made it a little bit easier for investors to get access to the space. So as far as the fundamentals of the industry, global diamond demand is expected to grow at 6% annually over the next 15 years, but supply only 3%. And this is primarily coming from new demand in Asia. The growing middle class is giving a diamond engagement rings for the first time. And the limited supply is the lack of new supply coming on stream. The last major diamond mine to commence production was in 2003, so there's not a whole lot of new supply coming online to offset the increase in demand.
And Paul, if you could tell me a little bit more about this NYSE ARCA-listed ETF, GEMS, could you tell me what the components are and what the performance has been like?
Sure. So given the complexities of investing in physical stones, physical diamonds lack fungibility, meaning they all have different characteristics and different values. So there's not a whole lot of liquidity, so it's traditionally been very difficult to invest in physical diamonds. So our fund invests in companies in the industry, from the miners to the retailers. So we wanted to represent the full life cycle of the industry as much as possible. And the idea was to invest in companies in the industry. So the ETF we have holds 25 companies located operations all over the world, listed on exchanges all over the world, and it's an ETF listed under the symbol GEMS on the New York Stock Exchange ARCA.
And Paul, I have a question regarding your outlook. Based on what you expect to see from developing countries as well as industrialized nations, what do you expect to see in terms of near-term as well as medium-term growth?
I think short-term is tough right now with gold. Gold's technically broken, and gold tends to lead the other, the hard assets and other commodities. So I think right now we're going to continue to see some volatility shorter term. But longer term, we think that the supply-demand dynamics will play out, and we think this is an interesting place to be.
And last but not least, before we wrap it up, are there any other trends that investors out there should be aware of regarding the industry?
Yeah, I think again, given the fact that the hard assets tend to trade together, and gold tends to be the leader, I think keep an eye on gold. I think when if you look at gold technically, when the 55-day moving average crosses over the 200, you get the golden cross. I think people are going to become enthusiastic about the hard assets again, and I think at that time, I think people are going to start to you're going to start to see money flowing back into the space.